young Azimuth too ignorant to care. However, the sword was stolen by a fierce incursion warrior,
No!
put an end to their constant world wars. This eventually led to the destruction of the incursion planet.
It can damn.
Himself.
Yeah, it was your fault. No wonder he blamed himself. Well, I mean, it wasn't really his fault. It was also the guy that stole its fault. But I mean, he made the sword in the first place. It's like making a nuke and being like, oh no, the nuke went off? That's crazy.
After retrieving the sword, Azimuth was still longing to prove the sword's creation was valid. Eventually, Azimuth visited a, quote, pathetic backwater planet he came across on his studies.
Earth?
Earth.
I knew it. I knew it.
1131, the medieval era. Georgius, a Roman soldier cursed with immortality, is defending his land from a cross-dimensional shape-shifting being known as the Dagon.
Oh yeah, I remember when this happened in real life. Did you guys learn about this in history studies? That was just a cool freaking time though.
Slaver of 100 different dimensions, and his army of demon lacubras. To relinquish the assault, Azimuth offers the knight his sword if Sir George, the Roman soldier's current name, was worthy enough to wield it. Sir George indulges on Azimuth's offer and engages in an epic battle, ending with George cutting out the heart of the Dagon and leaving Ascalon buried within. As the Dagon's heart was the source of his power, George was then able to magically seal the Dagon away, freeing humanity from his reign.
I mean, you could kill him. What if you like chopped him up into little bits, make some dragon sushi out of him? I guess he's probably too powerful. He'd just reassemble himself eventually. But if you have the source of his power, surely you could just chop up the rest of his body. Unless he can re-put his body back together if the heart is ever taken out of the stone, the sword, which could be the case as well.
Sir George then founded the Forever Knights, vowing to protect Earth from extraterrestrial threats and prepare for the Dagon's potential second coming. Azimuth sought out to right his wrongs by inventing something to represent peace instead of war.
A ring.
That one day, his lost lover would notice.
The one.
Azimuth became antisocial and put himself in isolation on Xenon, and began developing the Omnitrix, which can transform the user into a multitude of alien species.
Dude, I always thought this was so cool. Like, when I used to make wishes when I was a kid, I was like, damn, I wish I had an Omnitrix. The idea that you have a watch that can just turn you into aliens, like Big Strong Man, or the Sludge Bug thing, which is kind of gross, or Upgrade. Upgrade is so cool, dude. I love Upgrade so much. He's such a cool dude. I also loved Ghost Freak as well. Then he did this whole, like, spoiler alert, he was kind of evil, which sucks because I thought he was really cool to begin with, but no. I always wanted to have an Omnitrix when I was a kid.
Azimuth would continue to perfect his invention over time. In the 1770s, George Washington is leading a secret organized branch of hunters dedicated to learning about and protecting the world from supernatural threats and rumors.
George Washington led a group of hunters to protect the world from ghosts. What is going on?
A stranded Maltruant arrives here and receives aid from a young, banished traveler named Vilgax.
Oh, I remember him! I remember him. He looks like the Kraken from Pirates of the Caribbean. But I remember this guy. He was like the big bad of the first show, right?
Vilgax helps Maltruant repair his ship, and in return, Maltruant gives young Vilgax a Chronosapien time bomb. The two are soon intercepted by Ben and Rook time-hopping once again, and fight off young Vilgax and Maltruant with the help of George Washington. See?
This is so stupid. Ben 10 goes back in time to fight Cthulhu creatures with George Washington. What is George gonna do? He's a blunderbuss. Let's not do anything to Vilgax. Also, I have no idea who the secondary character is. Also, there's a little bit of sludge. There's one of those original creatures coming out of his watch. I have no idea where that's happening. That's gonna be fun to find out too.
Ben transformed from species to species inspired Vilgax's lifelong lust for this unique kind of power, as Ben unknowingly became the catalyst for his greatest foe. Washington cuts the anchor of Vilgax's ship, inspiring the tale of George Washington cutting down the cherry tree. This also marks the first recorded alien sighting on Earth, and Washington's organization starts to integrate extraterrestrial matters. This sets up the creation of the Plumbers, meant to fix leaks in normal society. They create a headquarters hidden behind the faces of Mount Rushmore, a nod to their original members, the Founding Fathers.
I always thought that was really cool. The fact that they're called the Plumbers as well, like this very nonchalant, kind of low-key, kind of, no, it's not super special, we're just plumbers. I like that idea. A secret society of people that are killing aliens and things like that. It's cool.
In 1952, an unnamed scientist working in a secret base of operations just outside of Bellwood is completing his work on a machine that uses quartz crystal to break a hole in the space-time continuum. The machine erupts.
The usual.
Both the scientist and his assistant disappear.
The usual.
In 1962, 10 years later, Air Force pilot turned astronaut Maxwell Tennyson saves the life of
That's
a
my goal!
being named Verdona from an android that aspired to use her as a power source. The two eventually start a family together. Also present was an alien police officer named Magister Labrid, who invites Max to join
Wait, you can have sex with the aliens? Oh my god, that's amazing.
Force. This stems the integration of the intergalactic merger of said police force and the Earth Plumbers. Plumbers are now multi-galaxy wide and operate as the definitive law enforcement for all galaxies under their jurisdiction. Max would go on to work with many partners through his years on the Force. On one of his missions, an Osmosian named Devin Levin gave his life for Max, entrusting him to keep an eye on his son.
He's a good lad.
To know the son's name as Kevin Levin, who
No, it's the don't look at my cock guy.
born with the power to absorb any kind of energy, matter, or DNA into himself and replicate it. Of course,
He's so
it
edgy.
took a very long time for Kevin to control his abilities, and after accidentally destroying his family's home, he runs away to the city of New York.
Yeah, no wonder. Of course he's gonna destroy his family home. No one taught him how to use his powers. Of course he's gonna run away. He's like a teenager. That's what they do.
And Azimuth has finally finished the prototype version of his Omnitrix and tasked one of Max's old love interests, Xylene, to transport the Omnitrix to the greatest plumber on record.
Wait, he gave it to his ex? Oh no, Max's old love interest. Oh my god, Max has been fucking so many aliens. How many aliens has he fucked?
Max Tennyson for safekeeping. However, rumors of the Omnitrix's existence has spread through the universe. Now a fierce warlord with a reputation, Vilgax catches wind of these rumors, igniting his hunger to taste this power he once witnessed hundreds of years ago, and sets a course to intercept Xylene's mission and capture the Omnitrix for himself. A fight for the Omnitrix between Xylene and Vilgax's ship causes an explosion. This concludes with Vilgax suffering life-threatening injuries, imprisoning him on his home ship until he can properly heal. Xylene
Oh my god, he's Darth Vader.
into a pod locked onto Max's DNA.
That doesn't look... Okay, I mean, if we're gonna say a pod...
It's the Omnitrix into a pod.
I mean, that definitely looks like... Why does it have veins, man? Come on.
Onto Max's DNA. But she herself falls into the Arctic, freezing her into a deep sleep for the time being. Back in
Falls into, what a place to fall into. There's so many places in the world that you could fall into. There's a lot of sea. You fall into the Arctic?
Max Tennyson, now retired and living in a motorhome, decides to take his grandchildren on a cross-country trip to help bring them closer together. A 10-year-old Ben Tennyson, accompanied by his cousin Gwen, begin their road trip with Max at a campsite in Yosemite Park, California. Through a series of events we later learn were manipulated by greater forces, Ben finds himself crossing paths with a mysterious meteor that fell from the sky.
It was manipulated by time travel, so he went back in time to make sure that he found the Omnitrix. I always thought it was weird that he just like sort of found it. I mean, it's kind of a cool premise, but the fact that it was Max's lover that was supposed to deliver it, and then it falls directly in the path of Max's grandson, like that's a bit of a stretch, right? There's so many people in the world, but if it's manipulated for it to happen, then it makes more sense.
The Omnitrix quickly attaches itself to Ben's wrist, igniting the legend of Ben 10, a kid superhero that can change into 10 different alien forms.
Alright, if we're being honest, Upgrade easily is the coolest of the lot. It has the best design. It is a shame what happened to Ghost Freak. I can't get over that, man. It's so sad. The Speed guy is probably my least favorite. He's not that cool. Or the Brain guy. Or the Fly. Looks like it's a demon of Nurgle.
Max has yet to reveal to his grandchildren his alien hunting past, but uses his knowledge of alien life and combat training to help Ben master his powers. The trio spend the summer going from state to state, stepping in to help out battle evildoers and save the day when they can. During a trip to New York, the gang eventually run into Kevin, who uses his abilities to absorb the DNA of Ben's aliens for him to use for his own selfish psycho.
Oh, I always thought that Kevin Levin's powers are so cool because he transforms like halfway into it. It just seems, it's like a body horror type of thing that I just think is really interesting to look at.
The game. A discharge from the Omnitrix sends Kevin into hiding, where he experiments more with the alien DNA he now has merged into his body. As their adventures continue, Ben starts to have visions of a mysterious onlooker, someone who has been spying on him and testing him by sending bounty hunters and alien drones. Vilgax's healing time has come to an end, and now with a much more powerful cybernetic body, Vilgax heads straight to Earth to claim the Omnitrix as his own. Vilgax successfully captures Ben, taking him with him.
Oh, the way they animated that was so funny. He just said, yoink, my 10-year-old now.
Creating an army of Omnitrix warriors. Max reveals his history as a plumber to Gwen, and the two head to Mount Rushmore to gather more weapons to save Ben. Meanwhile, a power surge on Vilgax's ship begins to shift Ben between his alien forms. A final assault between Ben, Gwen, and Max against Vilgax leaves him trapped on his exploding ship.
Max is so sick.
Max agrees to open up to the kids about his secret life, and the three become stronger and closer together.
I forget what Gwen
Summer
does.
adventures continue. The trio expand their capabilities. Max comes out of retirement and begins to re-familiarize himself with his old technology and weapons. Gwen takes an interest in magic after stealing a spell.
Oh, that's right. Gwen has magic. I totally forgot about that. She does magical shit. That's that's really sick actually. Gwen has some cool stuff.
One of their many reoccurring villains.
Oh, that's right, the lady! I remember the lady now, dude. It's all coming back to me now. I used to love this show, man. It was so
They
good.
discovered that there are more than 10 aliens in the Omnitrix. It becomes a natural at many fighting styles. Vilgax eventually emerges under a partnership with Kevin, who has now permanently damaged his body with the alien DNA from Ben's Omnitrix. Ben temporarily gains access to the master control of his Omnitrix. Max seals them both away in the Null Void, an alternate dimension made to inhabit the galaxy's worst criminals. On Max's 60th birthday, Ben and Gwen are thrusted 20 years into the future by Gwendolyn, an adult version of Gwen, now a master of martial arts and magic.
Okay, this is where we start the time travel stuff. I guess it technically started before because we saw some stuff before, but this is the first instance of time travel in the series, and it is so easy to get time travel wrong. You can make things not work, you can make things completely confusing, you can open up so many plot holes with time travel, so let's see how many plot holes we have.
During this brief journey, Ben evaluates the arrogant and selfish behavior he develops as he matures into adulthood, and vows to make different choices as he grows. Ben and Gwen are returned to their time shortly after defeating future Vilgax.
It is interesting that making different choices as you grow means that that timeline can't happen. So now you have two diverging timelines. If you don't turn into Ben 10,000 and you turn into, you know, a nicer version of that, then that timeline that you went to in the first place never existed, which means that you didn't know that you were not going to make the choices. It kind of blows your mind, right? Because you can't go to a timeline that doesn't exist if you make different choices and you stop it from existing. Ugh, this is blowing my mind.
Xylene also arrives after she is accidentally unfrozen by a group of Inuits. She reveals to them that the Omnitrix was intended for Max, not Ben, but
Yeah, oh yeah, I remember that. And Ben's like, oh, but I'm like 10 years old and Max is like old as fuck. I know that it doesn't mean, and it's not a plot hole, the timeline thing. It just means that it's like, it forms a new timeline. But from that timeline, there can be more timelines. and they can split and split and split and split, so there can be infinite timelines.
Deems him worthy enough to keep it. At some point, Ben is yet again hurled into the future, this time only 6 years, during a chrono randomization barrier error by 16-year-old Ben Tennyson.
What?
Ben helps his future self and team defeat Ultimate Agrigor. More on that later. After this event, Ben is sent back to his own time and recalls this journey as a vague dream. Towards the end of the summer, the Omnitrix's self-destruction is accidentally turned on during a battle with one of Ben's reoccurring enemies, Dr.
Why is there one of those?
Ben is taken to space by Tetrax, an ex-bounty hunter turned vigilante, to help Ben find the creator of the Omnitrix and turn off the self-destruct, as the destruction's power will destroy the entire universe.
What? There is a self-destruct feature that you can just accidentally turn on in a fucking watch that will destroy the entire universe. I thought the smartest guy in the universe made this. That's dumb as bricks.
Vilgax escapes the Null Void and trails them, intending to steal the Omnitrix once and for all, or force the creator to build him a new one. The gang finally meet Azimuth, who at first refuses to fix the Omnitrix, as he believes the universe is doomed to destroy itself anyway.
Oh my god. Well, he's a piece of shit. I thought he wanted to get back with his girlfriend. His girlfriend's getting blown up if he does this.
Save the universe. Ben battles Vilgax and his army one final time without use of the Omnitrix. This inspires Azimuth to put his faith in Ben as the future hope of the universe.
He didn't use an Omnitrix, he just shot him with a gun. Which, I guess, makes you a more trustworthy individual. He's like, nah, dude, I'll just win with my AR-15.
And fixes the Omnitrix, unlocking one of Ben's most powerful forms in the process.
What in
Azimuth
God's...
keeps an eye on
What's
Ben
that?
from that point forward, but for now, still refuses to
That's
give
cool.
him the master control. Meanwhile, back on Earth, the hybrid begins seeding their plans for universal domination by planting sleeper agents and slowly integrating themselves into society. With summer vacation over, Ben and Gwen return to school. The disorientated dad of Azimuth soon visits and declares war on Ben after misinformation leads him to believe that Ben has killed Azimuth and
Oh my god. Misinformation. See, guys, even the smartest species in the universe can be subject to misinformation. So please, don't use Twitter or Facebook. You are vulnerable.
star battle in the middle of Bellwood City causes miles of detrimental
Kaiju fight!
The city secretly enlists the help of various aliens to help rebuild Bellwood, with the aliens taking up camp below the surface. Over time, these camps would form a city of their own. A year passes, and Ben unlocks a new transformation named Feedback and quickly becomes addicted to using him. Meanwhile,
Oh wait, what does feedback do? He absorbs and redirects electricity, and he can redirect any type of energy in an infinite amount at near point-blank range. He absorbs energy through the plug-like conductors in his antenna. Okay, so he does like cool electric stuff. I mean, I don't know why you get addicted to that if you didn't get addicted to the other stuff. He can literally turn into upgrade and stuff like that. Feedback can fly, he has enhanced strength, he has enhanced durability, he has plugs on his head, which is kind of weird, I guess. I mean, it's okay. It's not the best alien in the world. He has a fucking kaiju alien and he gets addicted to this one?
in the Null Void, Kevin finds himself in a plumber-operated prison and meets Quarrel, a wise inmate with knowledge on Osmosians. He helps Kevin learn to control his rage, which was the trigger of his initial mutation. The more energy
Super Saiyan.
Osmosian absorbs, the more insane they become. To combat this, Kevin learns to absorb matter instead, creating a suit of armor with whatever material he touches.
That is so cool.
Escape by sacrificing his life at the hand of the prison warden, who has a
No.
deep hatred for criminals. This
Oh, come on. His backstory is the guy has a deep hatred for criminals. I'm kind of like not against that person that much. I understand that there are different crimes, so you could go to prison for like doing a white collar crime, like embezzling money, and the guy's like, oh, I'm gonna do torture on you. That's probably not ideal, but that's a funny thing to have a deep hatred against.
memory haunts him through his early teens. Still trapped in the Null Void, Kevin is found and recruited by Proctor Cervantes, leader of the Rooters, a special Black Ops division of the Plumbers. Cervantes was a corrupted scientist who frequently abducted children and performed experiments on them, attempting to create an army of superpowered beings that can assassinate a target known as the oncoming storm. When he discovered Kevin, he thought of him as the key to achieving his dream, and uses Kevin's powers to experiment on himself.
What in God's name?
Children, creating the Rooters. After a
Oh my god, he just takes the power from the animals and gives it to other people. Oh my god. This is the same thing as the My Hero Academia villain All for One. Did My Hero Academia steal this
highly upsets Proctor Cervantes, calling the Rooters project a failure. He wipes Kevin's mind of any memory of him, and does the same to the other Rooters, and lets them loose once again into the Null Void. With his new friend by his side, Kevin and Argent wander the Null Void. They eventually find a way out, and after a few scandals as traveling con artist partners, agree to go their separate ways.
That's funny.
On Galvin Prime,
That's a cool little side story.
moves back to his homeworld and becomes their first thinker. During the creation of the Galvanic Mechamorph, a species of sentient blobs of nanites that can possess and enhance machinery that live on Galvin Prime's moon, named Galvin B, one mechamorph was made incomplete, which corrupted both his biomass and his sanity. His name was Malware.
Oh, come on, his name's Malware? It's a bit on the nose, isn't it?
Worked to develop a cure to stabilize him, but it was deemed a failure. Malware became hostile and attempted to cure himself by kidnapping Albedo, one of the assistants of Azimuth, forcing him to develop a cure. This only mutated and corrupted Malware further. Malware then planned to absorb the Omnitrix and use its power to perfect his form. He steals an incomplete
He's like Cell.
an altercation with Ben, and begins working on an Omnitrix duplicate with a scientist known as Dr. Psychobos.
Is that just a flying head? No way, dude. This is what he looks like? Why has he got one massive claw? He looks like a rejected B-Tech version of Kingler. What's wrong with him?
The two realize that they are in need of DNA samples to program into their Omnitrix, and enlist the services of Kyber the Huntsman to collect samples from the predators of Ben's aliens. Malware then ambushes the Tennysons.
That's a good plan, actually. The predators of Ben's aliens. So you have a hard counter to everything that you can transform into. That's actually a pretty good strat, to be fair.
To crush Ben's spirit, rips feedback out of Ben's Omnitrix and vaporizes him.
No!
Ben's ability to transform into him.
Oh, that's sad.
Dr. Psychobos and Kyber then spend the next 5 years collecting DNA samples for what they will eventually call the Nematrix.
So he just came to kill feedback and then left? He's basically trolling them. He's like, oops, killed your friend. See you later.
Heartbroken by the loss of feedback, Ben eventually has the Omnitrix removed.
I thought you couldn't do that.
4 years later, Ben is
gonna chop off his arm.
15 years old and continues living a normal life, playing sports and drinking smoothies. With Grandpa Max missing, Ben re-equips the watch, and with the help of Gwen and Magister Labrid, the high-ranking plumber that originally—
Wait, so he just didn't have it for like 4 years? And no one came to do anything about that? There's a bunch of people that are like, oh, we're gonna kill him at some point. No one came to kill him when he didn't have the watch. No one like poisoned his food in the night. No one slit his throat. No one sniped him from a distance. This guy's just like an 11-year-old. No one did anything until he put the watch back on? No one knew who I was until I put the watch on.
recruited Max, they begin their search. However, as a catch, the Omnitrix has recalibrated after Ben's 4-year hero hiatus and has locked away his original transformations, while giving him 10 new ones.
What? Why? Why?
11, now 16 and back on Earth, during a weapons deal with the Forever Knights. The DN aliens, slaves that work for the Hybrid, are also present, and after a short escapade, Magister Labrid dies in battle, leaving Ben to carry on Max's legacy.
Oh, he seems like a cool guy.
Steel, and honored by Labrid's sacrifice, Kevin offers his help in defeating the Hybrid and their DN aliens. Recalling Ben's so-called dream of a future where he and Kevin were friends, Ben agrees, and the iconic Alien Force trio is formed.
That's cool.
Using his new abilities, the trio begin recruiting superpowered allies for an upcoming invasion. Some were good, some were bad, and some were quite questionable.
Oh no, it's the old friend from the past. It's the mouse guy. No, he's cool. We like him.
We eventually find that Max is still alive and has been deep undercover investigating the Hybrid fleet, only to seemingly die yet again by using an unstable null void projector as a grenade to kill a Hybrid general and give Ben and his team another fighting chance.
No, that's how Granddad dies? Nah, he'll be back. There's time travel shenanigans in this series. He'll be back.
Sacrifice. Ben continues his journey to put together a valuable team. As the Hybrid invasion gets closer, many revelations are made. Gwen finds out that her powers come from her alien grandmother and has been using magic to channel her abilities. The gang meet Professor—
I still think it's crazy you can just have sex with aliens and they just have just human kids. So insane to me.
A man thought dead due to a failed time travel experiment that has accidentally launched him outside—
Oh, he's back.
Where he learned to bend time and space and find his way back. And most importantly, Ben had unlocked his most powerful transformation yet, Alien X, a nigh omnipotent being that can bend reality with a mere thought.
no way. No shot Ben 10 has a fucking reality bender. An omnipotent reality bender. You don't need... Okay, that's it. I mean, that's GG's. Like, Ben 10 wins. That's over. Ben solos the multiverse. This is what happens when I say, like, people are like, oh, Ben 10 beats Goku. I'm like, what are you talking about? It's because he has this guy? There's no more enemies. Like, he beats the enemies. That's it. It's over. GG's.
Although this power comes with complications to overcome.
Okay,
Later,
okay, sure.
After a
Yeah.
distress call from the Null Void by...
Okay, well, I want to know what these complications are. In order for Alien X to perform any action, including simple movement and transforming back, all three of his personalities must agree to do so? Oh, no. He's got 3 personalities, and they're all like, nah, I want to go left, dog. I want to go right, buddy. No wonder. All right, no wonder they never work. Jesus Christ.
one of the allies Ben has made. He discovers that Max has yet again escaped the clutches of death, and the Null Void grenade ended up transporting him to this dimension, where he has began an uprising against the dictator persona of Dr. Animo, known as...
I'm so glad Granddad's back.
It's the revolution, but Max refuses to leave, as he believes there is still work left for him to do there, but promises to return one day. Now an independent leader, not by burden, but by choice, Ben prepares for war. The war official...
Yeah, the problem with Alien X is he has 3 personalities and they need a unanimous vote to do anything. Oh my god. And they all hate each other? Yeah, no shot. Ben 10 doesn't solo anything anymore. He solos nothing.
Officially begins with the fall of Galvin Prime, the homeworld of Azimuth. He and Paradox then set things into motion. Ben calls in every favor he has at the time for a final assault on the hybrid, as their plans to extinguish all life they deem impure, which is any race that is not their own.
Okay, so genocide's coming. That's bad. Ben 10 calls in all of his favors, which is his cousin, the edgy friend, Fire Guy, the criminal apparently, a weird green TIE fighter, and 3 over here. not the best task force in the world, but we'll make do.
Is in full effect. Azimuth at first refuses for Ben to participate in the war, as the Omnitrix is too valuable to risk losing. But after realizing...
It's too valuable to risk losing. Interesting. You were gonna let it self-destruct, and now we've had a bit of a change of tune. Also, how can you restrict him from doing anything? He's got, like, omnipotent alien X in that and all that. You're just a little brain guy. You're a little gray matter man. What are you gonna do? He's probably smart enough to figure out something. He's like super smart. He can do anything he wants.
That nothing will stop Ben from fighting, he grants Ben access to the Master Control, the full powers of the Omnitrix that he had only experienced once before. Ben fights his way to the Hybrid Control Tower, only to find that the true Hybrid Supreme Council is located on their home planet. Max triumphantly returns with his own team to give Ben the fighting chance to make it to the Supreme Council. There, it is revealed that the Hybrid race is actually dying, and they intend to wipe out the galaxy along with them.
Oh, come on. Those are the most loser shit you could do.
If I can't live, then no one can.
Why even bother? Just die quietly. Go in a corner. Crawl up in the corner and die. Jesus, what's wrong with you?
On a whim, Ben uses the Omnitrix's genetic damage repair function, amplified by the Hybrid Galactic Jump Gates, to rejuvenate the Hybrid's entire toxic bloodline, recombinating their DNA and giving them a second chance at life. With the war ended, and Ben Tennyson,
That was nice of him.
as a galactic hero, the Hybrids return home. Max continues training the Max Force, his new team of recruits.
The
while Azimuth
Max
says his
Force?
goodbye to Ben, who has yet again lost access to the Master Control. Ben's...
Wait, why? Why did he just take it away? He's like, yoinkies, master control mine now. See you later. Bye-bye.
Status starts to cloud his judgment and fuels his ego. Months later, Vilgax arrives on Earth with his follower, Siphon. Vilgax issues a Conqueror's Challenge, a law galactically enforced that allows the opposer to challenge that planet's greatest hero, with the champion obtaining ownership of the planet upon victory. Vilgax
I like how the example was Goku versus Superman. That's great.
has done this to 10 other worlds, including his own home planet, which has now been renamed Vilgaxia, redeeming his status as a banished criminal to a respected leader and warrior. With his 10 victories, Vilgax now wields many new powers and weapons. To ensure victory, Kevin and Ben attempt to hack the Omnitrix after Azimuth refuses to help Ben after the Hybrid War gave Ben a much more arrogant personality.
Okay, fair enough. He's arrogant. He's like 16 years old. He's all powerful. I'm surprised he's not more arrogant. Have you seen TikTok influencers? They get a tiniest piece of clout and then they go around licking ice cream and doing backflips and just ruining people's day and destroying Japan and everything. Like, I kind of get that. But to be fair, he could be much worse. It could be so much worse.
Experiment goes awry.
What if Logan Paul had the Omnitrix? Just think about that for a second. Jake Paul has the Omnitrix. What do you do, Len? Ben Tennyson having it is not that bad.
Breaking the Omnitrix, releasing some of Ben's aliens into the world, and permanently mutating Kevin for a second time.
Oh, come on, man.
Together to recapture Ben's missing aliens, but the Omnitrix remains broken.
They play Pokemon for a season.
It appears to be a perfect match for Vilgax's new powers, until Vilgax gets the upper hand and kills Ben in his Chromostone transformation.
What? Wait, he's dead? That was a fun series. I enjoyed it.
Ben's broken pieces begin to reform into another transformation, Diamond Head, one of his original 10, and promptly defeats him.
He's back!
As time goes on, the trouble weighs on the trio due to his mutation, as no one is able to figure out how to cure him. Unable to escape his defeat, Vilgax continues to pursue the trio, eventually teaming up with Azimuth's ex-assistant, Albedo. After a failed attempt to recreate the Omnitrix after he was deemed unworthy, Albedo was accidentally genetically altered, now resembling a warped Ben Tennyson. The two agree.
What? Wait, he has the same shirt on. Come on. How does it? What? What do you mean? He's got the same goddamn shirt and shoes.
Retrieve the Omnitrix from Ben. Albedo would use the Omnitrix to cure himself, and Vilgax to rule the galaxy. Albedo eventually stole an Omnitrix core from Azimuth to complete the Ultimatrix, a device that can turn Albedo into Ben's aliens, and then evolve them into their ultimate form. The two captures threaten execution unless Ben hands over the Omnitrix. Ben
gotta do it.
And Vilgax uses the Omnitrix to power his Bioid army, finally achieving his dream of commanding an army of Omnitrix users. Vilgax double-crosses Albedo and keeps the Omnitrix for himself. As Vilgax begins his reign over the galaxy, Ben activates the self-destruct on his Omnitrix via voice command.
Whoa, wait, you can do that by voice commands? Oh, okay, this seems like a bad idea. What's the safe one? Blueberry? Yeah, can I get a strawberry and blueberry smoothie? Oh, fuck, the universe is gonna blow up. Oh, son of a bitch. This is a universe blow-upper. Voice command sounds like a terrible idea for this.
Telling Vilgax that the Omnitrix will destroy itself if he does not give it back to Ben. Vilgax believes Ben is bluffing and lets the Omnitrix explode, destroying it for good. Ben swipes.
Oh, it's not a universe blower-upper. Oh, okay. Well, never mind. It used to be. I guess it kind of fell off.
The Ultimatrix from Albedo to once again gain the power to transform into his aliens, but now has the option to go ultimate. During the battle, Vilgax's ship plummets into the ocean, where Vilgax unleashes his true form, only to be defeated by Ben using Ultimate Swamp Fire. The destruction
Wait, so he was a sea creature the entire time? Oh, that makes sense. He's like a Cthulhu creature. That makes sense.
of the Omnitrix also cures Kevin, as the frequency from their original experiment is what kept Kevin in his mutated state. Armed with new abilities, the trio's journey continues.
Wait, so the Omnitrix is just dead at this point then? It like straight up just blows up. The blast radius depends on how long the blast charge is up for? That makes sense. I get that. Okay, that's fine. How long does it have to charge up to blow up the universe then? Like 5 minutes?
On Osmos 5, home planet of the Osmosian race, a tyrant named Agrigor sets out to absorb the powers of 5 special alien species, which would give him the power to survive the treacherous journey to collect all 4 parts of the map of infinity. Agrigor captures the aliens and makes his way back to Osmos 5, where he will absorb their powers through a special machine. The alien prisoners revolt and crash land on Earth, each going their separate ways. Off of the ocean, Vilgax washes up.
No shot. Vilgax is still around? Bro, they need to kill this guy. This is like the 5th time that they've beaten him. They just need to put him out of his misery. Jesus Christ, just like punch him hard enough. Please, Ben.
Bystanders. Too weak from his previous battle, he cannot return to his normal form and can barely move. He is unable to resist being sold to a traveling carnival as a sideshow until he is discovered by a member of the Flamekeeper Circle, run by a man named Conduit Edwards. The Flamekeeper Circle is a religious charity organization at face value, but in secret, worship an ancient being known as the Dagon. They believe that humanity was jump-started.
Oh, the Dagon's coming back. That's so funny. Vilgax got sold to a traveling carnival.
By aliens, and that the Dagon would one day return to Earth for a second coming of enlightenment. And it just so happens that Vilgax bears a passing resemblance to him. Members of the Circle are known as the Esoterica, and as worshippers of the Dagon, have the...
So they bought him because he has like a passing resemblance? This is like when you see Jesus in a slice of toast and people spend like 100 grand on it.
Ability to phase in and out of dimensions, and expel powerful demonic energy. Vilgax, accepting his his false identity as the Dagon, is cared for and nursed back to health by the Circle. Life seems to have fallen into repetition for the trio until Ben discovers that his secret identity was leaked online.
His secret identity? What secret identity? He doesn't have one. He just runs around like Ben. He doesn't even do the Superman method of wearing glasses. What do you... This is like saying, my secret identity of being Patters has been leaked.
Bringing him a lot of unwanted attention in the media and his personal life. The trio tracked down the leak to a low-class childhood blogger named Jimmy Jones, who deduced Ben's secret himself. He tips them off about an alien stealing pieces of a nuclear bomb in Florida for them to investigate.
Ah, of course it was in Florida. Why do they have anything nuclear-worthy in Florida? That's a recipe for disaster.
Kevin unleashes their new ship, the Rust Bucket 3, and sets a course. They come across the first of the 5 Andromeda aliens that they agree to rescue and help return to their home worlds. In the end, Agrigor always had the upper hand and recaptured the aliens for himself, completing his mutation as Ultimate Agrigor. The following battle leaves Max with a damaged nervous system, stranding him on Galvan Mark II while he heals.
Man, dude, he's like 90 years old. Just let him rest. Come on, man. He's so old. Stop making him fight.
Paradox claims that he was the one who hid all 4 pieces of the map of infinity as a race between Ultimate Agrigor and the trio begins. Despite their efforts, Ultimate Agrigor proves to be very smart and very powerful, and builds the map of infinity, which grants him access to the Forge of Creation, where celestial sapiens such as Alien X are born.
Okay, cool.
Paradox
So you just go there.
Forge's entrance, where Ben acts them.
Wait, Paradox just brings him to the Forge entrance? So Paradox could just go there? Yeah, imagine spending your entire life trying to find a map and this other people tell you to go there. Just like the snap of his fingers.
He entangles himself with a chrono-randomization barrier, pulling his 10-year-old self out of the timeline for a team-up in Generations.
Oh, this is the team-up part. Yeah, this is the part.
Gwen and Kevin battle Ultimate Agrigor on the palms of a giant celestial sapien mother. Agrigor plans to absorb its child and obtain omnipotence, as infinite celestial sapiens do not have the same drawbacks as their adult selves. Just as he is about to succeed, Kevin sacrifices his sanity and absorbs the powers of Ben's Ultimatrix.
No!
With Kevin, and defeats Agrigor by absorbing his powers too.
Oh no!
We're immediately...
Go on, Kevin. Absorb the baby. You deserve it. Just once, just as a treat, absorb the baby. I think we all agree he deserves to absorb the baby.
Drives Kevin mad, and the trio is temporarily broken. Paradox takes young Ben back to his own timeline, allowing him to read all these events as a dream, so Ben can faintly remember a future where they were once best friends. Kevin's involuntary betrayal drives a wedge between Ben and Gwen. Gwen continues to support the idea that Kevin has changed, and they should save him no matter what. Ben disagrees, saying Kevin is obviously too far gone, and they should kill him before anyone else gets harmed by him.
Okay, I see where both of them are coming from. Kevin, obviously, very big threat to everyone. Killing him would remove the threat. That is true. But at the same time, he was on the good guy's side. He was doing whatever he could to save the gang, and he did. Just put that out there. It's not like an Anakin Skywalker situation where he killed all the younglings. He can be pulled back from the brink.
Meanwhile, Ultimate Kevin hungers for power and attacks many of his old friends and enemies alike, including the Max Force and the Warden that killed his childhood friend who helped him escape. With the help of sometimes enemy Darkstar and Cooper Daniels, a technopath, Ben and Gwen each take their own shot at dealing with Kevin. Gwen tries to get Kevin to see reason, which fails. Ben engages Kevin in battle, as both nearly die at different points.
Dude, 2012 is the most insane year of all time in Ben 10. Jesus Christ.
Star and Cooper finalize a device that can cure Kevin powered by the remains of the Dominus Librium, an ancient energy-conducting artifact believed to be of alien origin. With Kevin cured, the trio reunited and
They did it!
healed from his injuries.
Max is back!
Well in the world.
Oh, I was good!
Forever Knights, continuing their ancient tradition of finding and exploiting alien technology, come across an old seal bearing their symbol that they believe to be a weapons vault. They crack open the vault, but it is too strong to break open entirely, and lets loose a creature that starts wreaking havoc on Bellwood. This
I like how at no point during this did they even mention the Ghost Freak incident, even though that was like the thing I remember the most of from this entire series.
Gains the attention of the trio, who work with the Knights to track down the creature. When found, the creature leeches onto Gwen, embedding itself into her mind.
Oh, ew.
Controlling her. See her, leaving Gwen with her memories, revealing the creature to actually be a demon that feeds on his prayers and servant of a great being named the Dagon. What they broke was actually a seal that was keeping us away, and now he is slowly breaking free again. The broken seal also alerts an old man from the senior center known simply as George, who begins to make his way to the seal. Confirming it is broken, his quest to slay the Dagon begins once more.
What? Whoa, George, just wait. No, George. There's no fucking way. Is it George Washington? There's no way. Is George Washington still alive? No goddamn way. No, it's George Washington? Or is it the? Oh no, is it the Roman soldier? Wait, is the Roman soldier actually George Washington who survived the entire time? Because he could be both, right? Sir George could have grown up to be George Washington who just stays alive. He just has infinite life. Don't say no. You don't know. You don't know that. You don't know that he wasn't George Washington. You don't know. He could have been.
More. He goes to Area 51 and teleports the entire base onto the side of a mountain and uses it as a place to perform his operations.
Of course.
Meanwhile, the trio is confronted by Paradox and Ultimate Ben, another version of Ben's future. Ben realizes that every time he meets his future self, his future will change. But for now, this future comes with the power to access his transformations while in human form. They arrive to help put an end to Eon.
Wait, so he can just use firepower when he's human now? That's weird. Also, is Ultimate Ben the branch off from Ben 10,000, since he said it was going to be different, so he grows up to be different, he turns into Ultimate Ben instead. But since Ben in this timeline has met this Ben, he's going to be a slightly different Ben now, so that branches off of another timeline.
An evil Time Walker who has been traveling across the multiverse, killing different Ben Tennysons. Although they later find that this is not the case, as he is in fact recruiting them for his own personal reasons.
What?
Ultimate Ben and
How many Bens?
beat Eon by destroying their universe's version of the Hands of Armageddon, which is said to exist simultaneously in every possible universe.
Well, it doesn't exist simultaneously anymore, does it? That kind of breaks that. Does that break it in every universe? I would imagine that breaks it in every universe, then surely.
Ultimate Ben returns to the future after giving Ben's Ultimatrix new transformations, and Paradox warns Ben to beware a man named Old George.
He's a good guy, though.
George hails a meeting at Area 51 with the leaders of each faction of the Forever Knights, who have all had their own run-ins with Ben over the years, and proclaims that the Knights must carry out their true order, exterminating all aliens on the planet.
Oh, wait, no.
With advanced
Guys.
armor and weaponry,
Oh my god, they gave him a lightsaber. This is straight up Star Wars.
special vehicles to complement. The
Oh no, it was one of those little... Look, now they have Star Wars speeders and everything. I told you they were Sith.
The Purge, as it is officially titled, is kicked off with the death of Pierce Wheels,
Oh my god, they're doing a purge? They're purging the Jedi. This is Star Wars.
prompting the trio to step in. Ben puts an end to the Purge, but later finds that the entire event was a distraction, as George's real quest was to re-obtain the Sword of Ascalon, which is currently still piercing the Dagon's heart in his invisible, teleporting fortress. George was able to calculate where the fortress would appear next, and using his notes, Gwen and the gang follow closely behind. At the fortress, George and the trio are both met by Vilgax, who were brought by the Flamekeeper Circle. Still thinking Vilgax is Dagon, they aim to reunite Dagon with his heart so he may regain his full power and save humanity. As a battle between
How is he gonna save humanity? That was kind of against his whole thing to begin with. Also, this is not even Dagon. I wonder what Vilgax is gonna do with the heart. He's gonna look at it all funny and be like, what the hell is this?
Esoterica and the Forever Knights ensues. Vilgax grabs hold of Ascalon and is rejuvenated back to his land form.
Oh.
Powered by the
Okay.
He then hears the voice of the real Dagon, telling him he is aware of his shenanigans, but will actually grant him ultimate power if he becomes his servant, and go back to the seal and finish breaking it to
And he
set
says,
him
yeah.
free. Vilgax
All right.
agrees and heads towards the seal, with the trio and Old George chasing him. At the seal, Vilgax fails to fully break it, and is instead sucked into the cracks.
Vilgax is such a failure. He's such a fail son. It's so funny. Everything he tries to do just completely flops.
Old George reunites with Ascalon and is restored to his youthful strength. Old George says the Dagon is his mission and fails to fully break it and is instead sucked into the says the Dagon is and
Nice.
still proclaiming his loyalty to the great Dagon with his last dying breath. Ben soon finds and joins George in battle, where they are confronted by Vilgax, who has now been granted demonic power from Dagon to the
Guess how long Vilgax is gonna last this time. I bet he is off the screen. We're at 32:49. I think he loses before we hit 33 minutes.
Destroy the seal. They fight against Vilgax's new form, but appear evenly matched. As the seal cracks even more, Dagon's power is released onto Earth, turning every living being on the planet into esoterica.
I was wrong.
Aside from George and the trio, who were protected by Gwen. However, the seal still isn't fully broken. Unsatisfied with Vilgax as his servant, Dagon reconnects with Gwen through a bug he implanted in her during the Kubra incident.
Oh, what the fuck?
Break the seal.
What the goddamn...
And Dagon frees himself into the universe.
Vilgax doesn't even get beaten. He just gets brushed aside because he's not cool enough.
Dagon towers over them in a godlike prestige, and does battle with the trio and Sir George as the last defense against humanity. The Dagon turns George into dust, ultimately eating him.
Oh my god.
As all hope seems lost, it is actually Vilgax who was planning for this the whole time.
No.
Who defeats Dagon by absorbing his power into himself, the same way he stole power from the other 10 worlds he conquered.
Never mind, rare Vilgax W! Congratulations, he's finally got a dub!
Against a Dagon-powered Vilgax, Ben wields the Sword of Ascalon himself, and fulfills George's destiny by putting an end to Dagon's power, forever. Ben absorbs the Dagon's power into the sword, and armed with the Ultimatrix, Vilgax proclaims Ben as a god and urges him to use his power to reshape the universe any way he wishes. Tempted by nigh omnipotence, Ben refuses the power and returns the sword to Asmund.
Yeah, no, I mean, that's awesome and all. I would just take it. Like, it would be cool being a god. You can always, like, get rid of the layer, right? You can put it down later. Like, just fiddle around a little bit. All the cool things you can do. You can have, like, infinite chocolate.
Asmund is impressed by Ben's growth since becoming more arrogant after the Hybrid invasion, and deems Ben worthy of the new, completed Omnitrix.
Hey, wow. So wait, so he had that lying around. So someone could have like joined that at any point.
The trio slumps back into the usual hero time charade until Gwen reveals that she is accepting a scholarship to go to college early, and Kevin is leaving with her, breaking up the Alien Force team.
Dude, he's Ben 10. He can fucking go with them. What do you mean? What's he doing? What is Ben 10 working as? You telling me he can't go?
Max sends a freshly graduated Plumber Academy student, Rook Blanco, to be Ben's new partner, and the two slowly begin working out their differences, fighting crime in the underground city known as Undertown, formed from alien camps that helped rebuild Bellwood back in 2007.
Let's go back.
Across a drifting spaceship rumored to be owned by the Quantumalia, the creators of the universe, and on board is their Annihilar, which can both create and destroy universes. In a ragtag fight for the Annihilar against other foes, the device is accidentally activated, eradicating everyone and everything in the universe except for Ben, who protects.
What? Oh my god, are you serious? Dude, 2012 was a busy year.
Himself as Alien X. Finally starting to master his power, Ben uses Alien X to create a new universe to replace his old one.
Oh no, wait, he creates a new universe to replace the old one. So, wow. So the old universe is just dead. He doesn't like go back in time. He doesn't undo what was happening. He just makes a new one. So he just uses omnipotence to create life, and everyone in the original universe is just dead. Wow, that's really sad. That's oh my god, this is a kid show?
Although it is not an exact duplicate, and so far, no one aside from Ben believes this actually happened. After 5 years, Malware finally continues his pursuit against Asmund. Kyber is sent to hunt down and capture Ben with his beast, now armed with the DNA of predators of Ben's respective aliens through the...
Oh dude, I totally forgot this whole side quest was even happening. Jesus Christ, no. Listen, Ben 10 just made a universe. I don't think your little predator thing's gonna work.
Completed Nemetrix, combating species who were naturally born to fight Ben's aliens against a skilled huntsman, strengthened the bond between Ben and Rook, becoming true partners. But even with their teamwork, Malware has successfully upgraded himself enough to launch an attack on Galvin Mark II. They begin by destroying their moon, Galvin B, disabling all of the Mechamorphs present. Malware continues to evolve himself using Galvin Mark II's resources and transforms into a giant. Ben struggles to defeat giant Malware and gets absorbed into him, and has an existential realization with his younger self. This revelation restores Ben's old transformation feedback into his new Omnitrix.
He's back!
It becomes the catalyst that puts an end to Malware once and for all. The adventures of Rook and Ben continue as they save the planet from the incursion invasion, prevent Albedo from permanently stealing the brain of Asmund, and liberate the enormous
You know, when the Mayans said that 2012 is going to be the end of the world, they meant in Ben 10 land.
system from the evil clutches of Lord Transil. Paradox returns once more with a warning that the entire multiverse is at stake, as Eon and Vilgax have teamed up and have been time traveling together for years, putting together an army of evil Ben Tennysons for a war. The battle will take place in an alternate universe, where one of the Bens never found the Omnitrix, because the Omnitrix never even existed here. That universe is then targeted by the evil Bens, only for Ben Prime to swoop in and
Who the fuck cares about No Watch Ben? He's just like a normal guy. Who cares?
save him. Ben and Paradox fight alongside Ben 23, Gwen 10, and Ben 10K.
Gwen 10? What is going? Dude, this is like the Spider-Verse. This is literally the Spider-Verse. What's going on?
Another version of Ben's future that has the power to fuse his transformations together to protect and watch Ben from Vilgax and Eon's army. The battle's true purpose was a distraction, allowing Vilgax to activate his Chronosapien time bomb and erase every single universe and timeline from existence. All except for No Watch Ben, who Ben Prime bequeaths his Omnitrix to seconds before being erased himself.
Oh my god, what?
Takes this Ben on a journey to restore the timeline, revealing that it was those two that manipulated the events of Ben Prime's timeline for Ben Prime to receive the Omnitrix in the first place.
So, Ben Prime, in theory, is the original Ben, right? This is the first one that all the other timelines diverge from, right?
Watch Ben also helps Paradox collect the good Bens for battle, but is left behind when the war starts again.
That's funny. He got left behind.
Here's his universe shortly after the time bomb went off, but now has a better understanding of the Omnitrix and the responsibilities of a hero. Using clockwork, he reverses the effects of the time bomb and restores the multiverse. No Watch Ben returns the Omnitrix to Ben Prime, and the good Ben.
In today's video, I'm gonna your code is this because the brand.
Effortlessly defeat Vilgax together. Back in Ben Prime's dimension.
Dude, I tried to follow that as best I could. I think I did, but wow, this series went off the rails. When I watched it, it was a villain of the week, turn into big muscly man, punch a funny alien guy, and look, we did it. Let's go to Colorado or something. Now it's, oh, wow.
Ben is put on trial by the Celestial Sapiens for illegally recreating his universe as Alien X, which violates the
What? That's funny. You illegally recreated your universe. Like, well, sorry. What was I gonna do? Not do that? Are you kidding me?
Preservation Act. The court eventually rules Ben guilty, but by using the Tetraman trial of combat, agrees to fight another Celestial Sapien for his own freedom. It is during this battle that Ben finally gains full control of Alien X and defeats the Galactic Gladiator, clearing his name.
Okay, so he has full control of Alien X. surely now he just GG's everything. Like, omnipotent, all-powerful reality bender. It's gotta be GG, that's it. There's no more enemies.
Entire universe now aware of what Ben has done, Cervantes finally returns after realizing that the dangerous threat known as Ben Tennyson has put the Omnitrix back on. He restores Kevin's childhood memories of being the Rooters' main assassin, prompting Kevin to do the same to everyone else who had lost their memories. A charade of events lead to Ben, Gwen, Argit, Rook, Kevin, Alan, Helen, and Manny, all in the Rooters' headquarters.
Who the fuck's Alan?
In the Null Void. Cervantes physically takes control of the Amalgam Kids, but is unable
No, you don't understand. It doesn't matter. Like, he's got Alien X. Like, none of this matters. He just goes, oop, deletion. You guys lose. I win.
to do so to Kevin, who he instead corrupts by taunting him about Ben ruining his childhood and imprisoning him. Kevin seemingly turns on the team and joins Cervantes. A fight breaks out between them, leaving Kevin permanently scarred on his chin.
Kevin surprises everyone by revealing that ever since his last mutated incident, he has gained control over his powers and was faking insanity the entire time to get...
He was faking insanity. He said, look at me, I'm insane. And everyone was like, oh man, he's insane. He's like, I was just kidding.
It's just Cervantes.
To destroy his connection to the other Amalgam Kids, leading to his defeat, demotion, and strands him in the Null Void. The Time War is now set into motion as enemies from the future, Subdora and Exoskull, are tasked with collecting all the pieces of Maltruant scattered across the multiple.
You sus. No, you
Bro,
sus.
you
You
sus,
sus. You
too.
sus. What a nice day. Guys, help.
Let's go.
Help. Me, please.
Bye, guys.
I don't want to die. No, ninja cameraman. You sus. No, you
Bro,
sus.
you
You
sus,
sus. You
too.
sus. What a nice day. Guys, help.
Let's go.
Help me, please.
Bye, guys.
I don't want to die. No, ninja cameraman. You sus. No, you
Bro,
sus.
you
You
sus,
sus. You
too.
sus. What a nice day. Guys, help.
Let's go.
Help me, please.
Bye, guys.
I don't want to die. No, ninja cameraman. You
Bye,
please.
guys.
Don't want to die. No, ninja cameraman.
Hello, my friends. Have you ever met another human being that was so unfathomably sus that they had to change their name every day?